Hi, this is Jeffrey Rhoades from experimentalhomesteader.com, and before I begin I wanted to say we did receive this item for free for Honest Opinions. All opinions are our own, and tonight what I have for you is the VMATE 7-inch high-resolution TFT Car Auto Rear View LCD mirror and waterproof car night vision reverse backup camera kit. Okay, so what we're dealing with is everything in this box here. That's what the box looks like, kind of upside down. And what we're actually looking at is this. This is the rear view mirror. It attaches to your rear view mirror via these clips, and it plugs in to the backup camera. The camera attaches to your license plate. So you mount it on your license plate. It is slightly adjustable up and down just a little bit, so you can position it the way that you want it. This bracket actually is kind of angled downward, so your cable actually comes out more or less at the top. There is a little label down here on the bottom of the camera, but you can kind of position the camera just a little bit up and down so as to get your best image. We are mounting this onto a Ford F-350 with a double cab and a full bed, so it's extra long. And one of the issues that I have with these systems so far, the power cords that they send are not long enough, because you're supposed to tie this into the reverse light in your tail light, so that when you put your vehicle into reverse, the light comes on and that powers the camera and the rearview mirror. But in order to do that, I need to splice in some wiring between the tail light and being able to power in the rearview mirror, because the cord that they give just isn't very long for the power. Now they provide a video cable for plugging in the camera to the rearview mirror that's plenty long enough. It's got more than enough cable to be able to run it all the way up to the cab from the bumper of the truck. But the power cord just is not long enough. But that's, just one of the issues that I've found. But it's fairly simple. Get another piece of wire, a much longer piece of wire, and you just splice it in to the power cables. It's fairly simple. And this is actually a fairly nice system. I was playing with it a little bit. I did hook it up in our car to the camera that we have mounted in the car, and I had the monitor on. This monitor actually has some buttons on the side here. You can adjust the brightness, the contrast. There's also a rotate, so you can actually rotate the image. You can turn it upside down, turn it sideways. I'm not sure just why we might want to do that, but it is an option that we can play with. This also allows you to link in more than one video camera. So it has a video 1, video 2 button on there, so you can switch back and forth between 2 different videos. And it also has a standby button, so you can push the button and just turn off the monitor if you don't want it on. This also has a remote control to it. I haven't really played with the remote control yet. I think it basically controls what the buttons do. So you can use the remote instead of playing with the rear view mirror. And I just need to get this installed in the vehicle. I have taken a look at the truck. I've had the tail light off. I had it hooked into the proper power supply line. I just was having problems again. This is one of the issues I've had before in finding a really good ground. And you've got to ground this really well to get it to function right. So I'm still working on finding the right ground to tie this into, and once I do that, then I'll have this up and operational, and we'll be able to give you some images, show you what it looks like installed and actually functioning. So we will be back a little bit later with some install video showing you. I'm not going to show you step by step. I'm going to show you a few things here and there with the install. So we'll see you in a little while. Okay, so here's what I've done so far. Because I was having some issues. I was trying to figure out how to actually get this working. I was having problems finding a good ground. So what I've done, I've tied it into the actual ground wire and just spliced it in for the moment and spliced into my positive line. And when I actually turn on the truck and put it in reverse, this lights up and the monitor will light up because it's getting power to the monitor, it's getting power to the camera, and so it's actually working. I will be finishing this splice using some electrical tape and proper connectors and everything. Right now I was just trying to do a fast test of this and figure out how I wanted to, because I'm also going to be splicing in some other wire to be able to run the power line all the way up to the cab of the truck. I also may play with the positioning of the mount of the camera. Right now it's mounted at the top of the license plate and it's actually covering up some of the information that should be showing. So I may be moving it to the bottom of the license plate, but I'll have to get some nuts and bolts to do that with. But right now it is mounted to the license plate at the top, and we can get an image. Okay, so here's what it kind of looks like once it gets powered up. That's the front of the our car, and you can see the green area. So we are still within the safe zone, but we're getting close to getting into the yellow caution area. At least we're not into the red danger spot yet. So now with the buttons over here, if you go into the mode, there's the brightness, contrast, saturation, tint, language, so you can change the language on it. You can also change the mode as far as your video size. You can have it at 16:9 or at 4:3. And you can also do the rotation. So, okay, so you can see in comparison the size of the rear view mirror, and this just clips on here. Okay. And that's what it's going to look like as far as the rear view mirror itself. And then I will just have to run my wires probably up around the visors and over and down, and I'll get this all wired together. Now that I have it figured out as far as the electrical goes, I can just run my wiring to the proper lengths and get this all connected in. So thank you and have a great night.